Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I've got Frederic, the Adventurous chef. As you know, we were trying to do a live, and unfortunately, we weren't able to do a live, so we're doing it on Zoom and working with technology. So here is Frederic. Thank you for coming on, Frederic.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be spending this time today on your birthday, actually.
Yes, it is my birthday. Thank you. Anyway, so that's besides the point. But so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I love the fact that you called it the Adventurous chef, because I traveled the world for many years. I would say about 12 years. I went pretty much everywhere on the planet. Cooking lessons here and there, and I ended up in Vancouver after all these traveling years because of the mountains, the sea, the beautiful city that we live in. And I ended up being the executive head chef of one of Vancouver's biggest restaurants. And I've just let go about a year and a half ago. And now I work for myself. And yeah, that's where I am right now.
Perfect. So what places have you been to?
Well, Asia, I loved Asia. I loved Laos, Vietnam. I've been pretty much everywhere in Asia. Everywhere in Europe. I traveled the whole Canada, US, from the North Pole to the South. Australia, I lived in Australia for about a year, traveling the whole country. And I move a lot when I travel, you know. And I was doing it on hitchhiking most of the time. I get to meet a lot of people. I love to meet people. And it's moving from one country to another and learning about their diet, their food staple, and being taught by locals how to cook this, how to cook that, how to use fresh food. That was absolutely amazing. And in a little village in Laos where the person, you can't talk because there's no language, but they show me how to do the rice, how to cook it, how to use the ingredients from around them and cook fresh, high in nutrients, beautiful food. And I loved it. I love traveling so much for all that it brings me, you know, like the happiness of being outside, meeting people, learning new foods. And yeah, it was amazing.
Excellent. So what is your favorite cuisine?
Oh my God, okay, so now, since I was running a big restaurant, I ate a normal American style diet.
Okay.
And now, since I left, I became vegan. So now I'm vegan and I adore cooking fresh food. I use a lot of legumes, beautiful vegetable. I have a big garden in my backyard and I use a lot of spice. So I love to create, and normally I create it very fast as well. It's just, I love spices and fresh herbs. And my favorite cuisine, okay, like for the many years, French cuisine was one of my favorite. You know, you got the cream, you've got the butter, you know.
You can't go wrong with the cream and the butter.
You can't really go wrong with the cream and the butter until I made the decision that I didn't want cream and butter anymore. But what I replaced it with is, to me, it's not only there's more nutrients, but it really is tasting really good. I'm super happy. I wouldn't go back.
Perfect.
I mean, I cook beautiful food and I use beautiful ingredients and it tastes so awesome that I don't see myself being able to go back. And what I like about cooking the way I cook now is that because I don't, you know, when you eat, sometimes you feel like this after, you know,
yeah,
you want to have a snooze. And then after eating now it's like, whoa, energy.
So with the food, so you're basically using raw ingredients. What types of ingredients are you using?
I use all the dark color vegetable. I use pretty much all the vegetable there is.
Okay.
Fruits, and I create a lot of things. You know, I did a raw diet for a little while, and I was not too fan of it. So I make now a chutney with the tomato from the garden. I love eggplant, zucchini. I have, when you have a zucchini plant, it just creates so many zucchini. So I'm a master in zucchini, bread, fritter, you name it,
So I think I might be coming over to your place because
yeah, my door's always open. How people? The door is always open. Let's come and cook.
Well, there we go. We know where to go.
You know where to go. We have a cooking fest. I have a big kitchen, so we could do that.
Awesome. Can't complain there. So now, do you get your nutrients just from the foods that you cook, or do you get it any other way?
Well, that's a very, we could talk about that for a long time, but I do believe that being a chef, I don't get the nutrients I need from the food that I eat. And I'm a vegan. And I'm a vegan because this is the diet I strongly believe has the most nutrients to offer. But because of the environment we live in, I believe in nutritional supplements. Okay. And I tell people to take the good quality nutritional supplements as well to supplement the diet. It's good to take nutritional supplements. Like the standard American diet. Okay. Which is, we call it SAD, right? SAD, standard American diet. It's processed food, it's frozen, it's fast food. There's not a lot of nutrients in that. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, if you eat this, then you must take a nutritional supplements to fill the gaps, to give your cells what they need. With my diet, I have more nutrients, but I still believe I need to take a nutritional supplements because of the way we grow vegetable today. And I know that, from working in the restaurant, I talk to all my reps, we talk about vegetable and things all the time, where they come from, what's happening in that part of the world, why we're not getting them from California, but from New Zealand, and how do they get there from us? So soil depletion, the way that they create the vegetable, the crops right now, to sustain pests, to sustain climate change, to not need too much water, and the fact that in years ago, like decades ago, let's say we had 4 plots of land, we would plant in 3 and leave this one to replenish, get the nutrient back from the element outside. And then we would rotate them. But we don't do that anymore because we're in a hurry. Grow the vegetable and they grow faster than ever. And the yield there's so many per plant because we are ruled by money. When we're ruled by money, then we just want to create. So the zucchinis, they look perfect. They're beautiful. They're waxy. And they've grown so fast that the nutrients cannot keep up. They can't keep up. And that's if they're GMO free as well. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the environment has changed so much. Like it is shown, there's studies that shows that nutrients that were in one orange, by example, a few decades ago, the same amount of nutrients in one orange is now found in about 8 to 9 oranges. So to have the same amount of nutrients, you'd have to eat so much more oranges than before. So
that's
the soil.
That's a little bit of a hard one to have 8 or 9 oranges a day just to get the.
It is, isn't it?
That'd be a lot of running to the bathroom.
That's a lot of fruit. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And most people would go like, "Oh my God, I'm going to juice it then." But then when you juice it, you know what happened, right? The fiber goes away.
Yeah.
And it's now a processed fruit. So, I'm actually, I consider myself the health nuts.
Which is excellent. We need more people like that, who are
and I'm always very careful when I talk to people because sometimes it's overwhelming. But everything I do is for better health and living a life free from pain, actually.
Perfect. So now you said you've aligned to take some nutritional supplements. Which ones are you taking?
Well, I am taking the USANA nutritional supplements. And the reason why is because quite a while ago, I was looking for I've not always been so good. we all had our days, right?
Yeah.
And when I found out that when I was looking for nutritional supplements, I did my research. It took me a while. I did a lot of research into what should I take, and went to the shop, to the health stores. I visited different places around the country, in the US, to see what should I take, because I've never been a big fan of medicine, taking things like, even for my son, taking cough syrup or aspirins or things like that. We've never taken them. He's never actually taken any medication in his life. So I've never been a big fan of that. So I needed to find a good quality nutritional supplement without the fillers, without the chemicals, because if I don't take medication, like prescription, not prescription, but like cough syrup, things like that, which has chemical, I'm assuming, then why would I take it in my nutritional supplements? I need something to make me feel better, to fill the gap in my the nutrients that I'm taking. And I ended up, after doing all these research, I ended up with USANA Health Sciences.
Okay.
And it really did change my life, to be honest. It was the best decision ever. For me, for my family, for my big family, my folks, sisters, everybody.
So what has drawn you towards USANA? What is it about USANA that you really love?
The fact that they're GMO free, the fact that they are pharmaceutical grade, the fact that they are of good quality and they're bioavailable. When you swallow them, you know that you are going to use those nutrients. They're not going straight through. And what I love about USANA as well is they care about the nutritional supplements, what you take in the inside, so inside out. However, they care also about the outside in. So, like for me as well, at home, I was never a fan of using a shampoo is pear and rosemary. Do you know what I mean? Like pear and rosemary, I swear to God, there's no pear and rosemary in there. It's a chemical reaction. Make it smells good, and then you put this chemical on your skin, and then it goes in your skin because your skin absorbs everything, right? And when I say that, I always tell people, step on the clove of garlic barefoot, and it'll take about 2 minutes before you taste it. And then you realize, oh my God, my skin absorbs everything. So then USANA has those skincare products, like not only the cream, but the body soap, the shampoo, the conditioner. So you don't put any chemicals in your body. I think it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Toothpaste, which is fluoride free. Another product that I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Fluoride is one of the worst chemicals you can put in your body. Face cream, like the Celavive product now. It's just their product, their integrity into the health of the human body is phenomenal. And that's why I went with USANA over any other company in the world, actually.
Perfect.
Because,
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, because of everything that they do. Like their line of product is exactly what I'm looking for. And it keeps me healthy, so why not?
And it keeps you adventurous.
Adventurous. It keeps me, I have no downtime. Like seriously, I have no downtime. I says to people, the only side effect of USANA is you can't call in sick.
That's true, you can.
You call in sick and you think USANA product. I know that you've been drinking the night before.
Yeah, that's true. So do you have tips that you could share with, people who are trying to, as you know, we're doing the 28-day transformation. So do you have any tips that you could share with, people trying to get back into a healthy eating regime, one with the shakes as well as with food?
Yeah. Well, our body needs, so like when people do different diets, they go like, oh, I'm going to cut the carbs, I'm going to cut the fat, I'm going to cut this. I mean, our body and our cells needs the carbohydrate, they need the fiber, we need the protein, we need the fats.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just talk about, by example, fibers. No, let's talk about the fats first. The fats is fun. So there's 3 different kind of fats. You've got the saturated fat, which is the fat that is solid at room temperature. So if you cook bacon and you leave the fat in the pan, it becomes to room temperature, it will go solid.
Mm-hmm.
And the saturated fat it's very unhealthy for us. It raises our cholesterol level, bad cholesterol, and then it increases the chances of diseases and strokes and different things and heart failure. So I say to people, go easy on the saturated fat. The unsaturated fat, it's the mainly the plant-based oil, like the flaxseed oil, avocado oil, olive oil, that you can use, and it's got nutrients, omega-3, omega-6 in it. So it's a healthier option. Trans fat is not essential for human body. It's man-made, it's done chemically. Mm-hmm. It brings fat that is liquid at the solid state, so we can use it in different things. Now, the big corporation, the food corporation, they love trans fat because it's cheap, and it's all about money, right?
Yeah.
It elevates the taste of the food. It makes the food last longer. So let's say French fries, donuts, pizza dough, pastry, shortening, margarine, all these types of food have trans fat in them. Okay. And as well, it raises your cholesterol level. So I would say avoid trans fat and stick to not necessarily plant-based, but the liquid unsaturated oil, which is the good fat.
Okay.
When we talk about fiber is what we call fibers is in fruit, in vegetable, and you can't digest fiber. That's why it doesn't break down your stomach acid breaks down the sugar, gives you the boost of energy. The fiber goes through undigested, and that's what kind of gives you a sustainable energy. Mm-hmm. Because it uses it over time. So it's like low glycemic kind of thing. And protein is always good. There's different types of proteins. Carbohydrates is also important for your cells and for your body. It's the main body fuel, let's say. You've got the complex mm-hmm. carbohydrate and you got the simple one. Simple carbohydrate is it's like 1 or 2 sugars. It's what you find in the soda, in the syrups, in candy. But you also find it in fruit as fructose. It's 1 sugar. It is digested really, really fast, and it gives you a burst of energy. The complex carbohydrate is 3 or more sugars. It takes a longer time to digest, and we find it in grains and legumes and vegetable and a nicer food for sustainable energy. It's like I would say, instead of drinking fruit juice, eat an apple, eat the fruit itself. So you're taking the fiber as well as the good sugar. Instead of eating chips, and that you have to make the choice, right? Instead of going down for the bag of chips, Miss Vicky, super crispy, awesome, just go for raw vegetable. I know it doesn't sound as good, but you will feel better, mm-hmm. And I love the USANA shake as well, because that's normally my first drink of the day, because it's really nice, it's convenient. What I like about the shakes, when you drink it in the morning, it sets you off for a day where you don't crave high glycemic food.
Okay.
You will go for the low glycemic, you will not crave that burger and fries. You will crave, I don't know, something low glycemic like farro, couscous, or something healthier,
So can you explain what the low glycemic is? Because you've referred to it a few times, so our viewers can actually...
So if I explain it, like let's say you eat anything white potato, white rice, bread. So when you eat it, it breaks down in your body into sugar and really, really fast, and it raises your blood sugar. So then your pancreas releases the insulin to bring that down. So then you have a high, and then it brings it down, and then you kind of have a low. You're going to go like this. That's when the insulin kicked in, because you need to bring it back up to neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then because the insulin is kicking in, your body is telling you you need to eat. You need to eat fast. So people fall hungry and they go for something like cookie, donuts, sandwiches, things that's normally higher on the glycemic index, like, and then it raises your blood sugar and then it goes down. So then it's a roller coaster, and a lot of people live that daily,
Mm-hmm.
day and night. If I take a USANA shake or oatmeal for breakfast, by example, it raises your blood sugar just a little bit. So there's no need for the insulin to kick in, right? Because it's when your insulin kicks in too many times that eventually you end up with diseases like diabetes type 2, by example, because your insulin is kind of, whoa, what do I do? Do I give it? Do I not? They get lost. They kind of, oh my God. So the disease kicks in, and then you have to put the insulin manually. Eating a low glycemic breakfast or meal or lunch, dinner, it doesn't raise it too much.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a more sustainable energy. There's no downtime. And I know, because I used to eat high glycemic food all the time. And I remember damn well that at the restaurant at 2:00, I would just want to go in the office and just close my eyes. Don't talk to me. I am done. I'm so tired. But I didn't know this information then.
Mm-hmm.
If I go back to 12, 13 years ago, I did not know that. And knowing the glycemic index, I mean, I tell people Google glycemic index, and you'll see the high glycemic, the moderate, and the low glycemic food. And it gives you an idea of what you eat, and then you can make choices. Brown rice is a healthier option than white rice. Farro, the grain, is a better option than white rice as well. White rice is high glycemic. People ask me, Fred, I feel always tired, and I feel bloated. And they eat rice two or three times a day, right? And I said, well, let's try to switch it off. And we switch it off with another grain, and it changes. They don't feel the bloatedness. They don't feel tired anymore because it's low glycemic.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a sustainable energy.
With the Asian diet, that's kind of hard, because that's the white rice is a staple.
The white rice is the staple.
It is a staple. Like, even whether you're from India or from Asia, it's still a huge staple, as well as parts of Africa. So how would you sort of bring that?
Well, I have few friends actually from India that want to stop eating rice, and they couldn't. So because I trust USANA and everything that they do,
Mm-hmm.
I asked them, would you consider doing the reset? So it's a 5-day program where what I like about it is it gets rid of your cravings. Actually, a lot of Indian people crave rice and bread. Get rid of your cravings. After like 3-4 days, your cravings have gone, and you can start fresh. And that's what I use. I use the reset a lot. Get rid of your craving, because why fight your cravings?
Mm-hmm.
Just get rid of them. Don't think about it. And now after 5 days, just 5 days, you start eating, you introduce, you put the same dish, but you put couscous around instead of white rice.
Mm-hmm.
Or farro. I love farro. You put farro around, or buckwheat, like a grain that's going to make you feel like it's white rice, but it's not. You're going to feel better, less bloated. You're going to actually have more energy because there's more fiber in it, and it's low glycemic. So I do promote the reset on that, just to lose the craving.
Yeah, the reset is amazing. Like after the first 2 days, I've done the reset, and the first 2 days were a bit of a.
The first 2 days are hard. They're
They're
hard.
hard.
Because your brain keeps saying, just give me the coffee or just give me the bread. I want the chocolate. You know, like,
Yeah.
but after, on the third day, in most cases, people have actually felt better. And I mean, the energy increases tenfold.
Oh yeah, and like you said, the cravings, you actually start craving real whole foods, which is amazing. And you don't even need to add too many sauces, I find.
Yeah.
And so now the 5 days actually an extension of the 28. So right now I'm running the 28-day transformation program.
Yeah.
So basically, the 5 days you train yourself how to introduce foods into your system, and like you
Yeah.
said, re-energize yourself and detoxify. But then
Yes, right.
it also teaches you how to do it on a longer period, not just for 5 days, but now you're able to maintain and to actually kick in a good habit, because they say it takes 21 days to create a good habit.
That's right. I believe that as well.
So I think we're now at day 10.
Yeah.
Something
Almost.
like that. I've even forgotten. We started September 10th.
Almost, because it's becoming your lifestyle now, right?
Exactly. That's the whole point, to make it a lifestyle. Actually, so it's day 11. And you can definitely feel the change in your body, your energy, your attitude level.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I mean, my skin is glowing. And I love the fact that I don't have to wear makeup, because I don't like wearing makeup too much, and I love it because with
There you go.
with our regiment as well as Celebi, I'm rocking it.
You're rocking it, and that's what I say. I say, yes, it's good to take nutritional supplements and using all these beautiful products that USANA has to offer, but having also a good healthy diet, it comes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's few more things. You know, for me, I believe there's 4 things that needs to be done in everyday's life to be at your optimal health. Another one is about 20 to 30 minutes of raise your blood sugar, raise your get your heart pumping. I mean, and go run, go do some exercise. It kicks in the endorphin. It makes you a happier person, healthier as well. Keeps you healthy weight. Exercise keeps your skin beautiful and glowing. And sleeping about, I would say, an average 8 hours uninterrupted.
Yes.
It's essentials. People today live like a very stressful life. Very stressful life. We stress our body just by breathing well, I live in North Vancouver, the air is pure. But I mean, there's many places on the planet where the air is not. So we breathe in the toxin. We are in our homes, we clean with products that have toxins, and that damages the liver, and it brings stress to our body,
Mm-hmm.
as well as emotional stress, work overload. And then we become depleted in nutrients because our liver is always on the detox mode. I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy. Like, yes, we lost you there, Frederic. There we go.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay. Yeah, so like here in North America and in Asia, it's very, very polluted. Whereas if you go to Europe, their whole concept is it's laid back. Well, not all areas of Europe, most of Europe, it's very laid back.
It is.
And their foods are so different.
Yeah, it depends.
But you still do need the multivitamins, I would say, just so you can get all the nutrients that you need at optimal level.
Yeah. I have no doubts. Anywhere in the world today, we're not in 50 years ago. 50 years ago, we could have debated this.
Yes.
Today is not, should I or should I not? It is normal. It is the thing to do. Like I'd say about 75% of North Americans do take nutritional supplements. I do urge people to look at labels, not just on their food, but on their nutritional supplement as well, because you don't want to add chemicals to your body. You want to get rid of it, right? So that's why I always push people, go for a pharmaceutical grade quality nutritional supplements to help with everything. And digestion is a big one as well. Like a probiotic and digestive enzyme should be part of the daily habit in people's life today.
So what is your daily regimen that you take to be at optimal level?
With the USANA product?
Yes.
With the USANA, I take the Cell Essentials. I love the Polyc, the Biomega, the Proflavanol, Quaquinone for the heart. So I take a nice array, and I add some, or I take the Magnicol D and the Procosa, because, you know, I love my exercise.
Yes,
I hiked a lot of mountains all the time. That's why I live in North Van. I love the mountain hiking, climbing, running in the forest. And so I take my Procosa, so I'm able to do this still today.
Excellent.
And it works, because I seriously feel younger today than I did, like, seriously, like 10 years ago.
Which says a lot.
It says a lot. I feel better. I have more energy. I look better. I'm, you know, like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you're rocking it.
And just what started it all is just being with USANA. Because once you start taking nutritional supplements, you start believing more in yourself, and you start going, do you know what? I'm doing this for my health. Maybe today, instead of the white rice or the burger patties, or you know, I'm going to have something healthier. Maybe instead of going to McDonald's, which I wish they didn't exist, but I'm going to make myself some food at home. And I urge people, cook home. And if you don't have time, just get a company out there that can cook for you and deliver for you fresh food, fresh ingredients. They're everywhere. It's so easy today, you know, to get help.
Perfect. So do you have any last closing tips for our viewers?
Well, I would just say, just think about those 4 things. And people, if you write it down and you put yourself a nice goal, you'll achieve it. Whether you want to sleep better, whether you want to exercise, eat better, and just take a few minutes. Just avoid Netflix and spend the time in your kitchen trying to cook fresh food and learn with YouTube. It's so easy today. And take a good quality nutritional supplement. And I take USANA because USANA is number 1. If ever in this world another company becomes number 1, I would consider switching. But I use USANA because it's the number 1.
Excellent. So, you kind of remind me of Julia Child.
Who?
Julia Child. She was a famous chef in the 50s. She wrote a whole book and everything. So she traveled everywhere, and her food became her passion. And she started becoming very healthy. And so you sort of remind me of Julia Child.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to Google her later.
She's got a lot of energy and everything, but she was definitely an iconic woman in the early 50s. She revolutionized how cooking was done. She made it a lot of fun and healthy at the same time, with all these different, you know, types of meals and all of that stuff. So definitely do check her out. And it was a pleasure having you, Frederic.
Well, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.